I think we both have had a lot of ahas over the past year. We faced some unknowns throughout the fund and some things we didn't expect. We've had great partners with Helping Hands. But what were some of your biggest takeaways or your biggest learning moments throughout the year with the Lighthouse Fund?
So the Lighthouse Fund is very confidential. We work through a third-party partner, Helping Hands. And something that I think surprised me was just their attention and care for every single memory maker. Like they have gone above and beyond to do what they can to support our memory makers when they need it. Something else is that, you know, with it being confidential, we don't see a lot of the information or details that come through. But Helping Hands will share with us stories of, you know, people and how they've been supported, not their names, but, you know, what they've been supported with. And they'll share that with us. And then also when people are looking for the Lighthouse Fund and they're like, how do I apply? They come to my team to say, like, where can I get this information? And so just the stories that I think we've heard this year have really shocked and surprised me and I think humbled me in a way to hear some of the things that our memory makers are going through. And I'll say that the last thing that is never like an expectation of ours, you know, we kind of invited people to give to the fund. But the way our memory makers show up and continue to show up, you know, we have almost 17%, over 17% of our population that is contributing back into the fund, which was never, I think, expected. I think we were hoping for like 5-10%, and like our memory makers just continue to like show up and show out and give more than we expect. So.
Really incredible. You know, I think in talking and doing our homework, we had learned about 10% is probably average of a company to give back through payroll deduction. So to be at over 17 again, you know, again, with not really any idea what could be, but just asking. I think we've learned time and time again, our memory makers always show up. And then I just think about the stories too. You know, as you and I were chatting earlier today, talking about, you know, recently in Retail 101, having someone just kind of approach me very casually and tell me about a life situation that was really weighing on him. And when I mentioned the Lighthouse Fund, you know, it wasn't something he had thought of. He, you know, went through all the, I'm not eligible, or I don't know, but ended up being able to get some help from the Lighthouse Fund. So as we continue to talk about it and put awareness towards it, again, just imagine what it could do.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.